handle the hot water situation in the hotel room. Can't get the Keurig to make the water hot enough, so I'm buying a coffee. So weird. I've never seen how they make the egg sandwiches. It's like a little pod they pop out. It's so weird. $2 in a while, and I see they have these new little egg bites. They need to do those with chickpea flour. Massive. I'm at the conference. It's so massive here. It's like very overwhelming to know where things are and where to go.
And as I looked more into this, I thought, this made me feel better, because up until this point, I was thinking I'm not smart enough to be able to find that root cause. But I'm realizing, as more and more evidence comes into being, that there's a lot more than what we're able to think about in our own minds. So Dr. Sulzberger, I'm not going to read the entire quote, but I just want to talk about parts of it. So Dr. Sulzberger hinted at this a little bit. He said, early in this century, it was believed that diseases could be treated best by finding one specific agent that could kill the causal microorganism, or specifically attack the pathogenic mechanism. When he refers to early in this century, this is early in the last century, so we're still a little bit behind the game. But basically, he talks about a theory of multi-causation. There's really been an explosion in what we've learned about the other parts of the acne process. We've learned a lot about the microbiome, a lot about P. acnes from the work from Elizabeth Grice and Heidi Kalm. In case you weren't aware, the P. acnes bacteria got a new name. It's been reinvented and renamed. It's now called Cutibacterium acnes, so you'll be hearing us refer to it as C. acnes.
So my life goal is to impact a minimum of 100 million patients worldwide. Here we go. Sorry. And as you heard, I'm an early stage entrepreneur and angel investor in deep biotech and med device, things like curing cancer by repairing P53. I'm working on a small molecule for autoimmune disease on the AHR pathway.
Well, hey guys, what's up? I am going out for some lunch to a vegan place. I'm over in kind of like Chinatown area. Oh cool, look at the crosswalk. It's pretty quiet down here actually. Yeah, this morning was the plenary session. It's pretty good. It's like updates and that kind of thing. And then they had this woman, I'm blanking on her name and I never heard of her. She's like a digital entrepreneur, tech kind of person. She does a lot with healthcare delivery technologies. And apparently she has a book on Amazon that's very popular. So maybe I'll check that out. But she was quite a energetic and enthusiastic speaker. So the other talk that I was in there was kind of about the pathogenesis of acne, what's new and exciting in terms of genes in the oil gland. Woohoo! All right, here we are. The place I'm eating is called Hip City Veg. Hopefully it's not too crowded. It kind of looks like a rendition of Chloe's, or by Chloe. Yeah, by Chloe, that's what it's called. But this is Hip City Veg. Past the plants. 3 out of 5. It was pretty good. It was good for lunch. The tofu was overcooked though. You know, where it's like hard on the outside and chewy. Not good. Tofu jerky-esque. So that wasn't good. But plus they didn't cut the wrap in half, which I find to be a little bad form. But yeah, it was decent. They're supposed to have banana and ice cream there. I was gonna get one, but they were out of it. So that was a bummer. Now I need to grab some dental floss because I ran out of that. And then I'm going back to the conference. I thought the variety of Olay was bad. Check out Colgate. How many shapes of bristles does America really need? Colgate Oral-B. So many choices. Apparently Sensodyne is a high theft item. It has to be kept behind lock and key. Here's a black market for sensitive teeth for enamel protection.
So we had about 12 sunscreen with SPF ranging from 15 all the way down to 55. And the UVA protection factor ranging from 2.4 all the way down to 28.2. So the good news is the sunscreen actually also provided against free radicals. And you can see free radical protection from 2.4 all the way to 23. So that is an added benefit. The unfortunate reality is that when we actually looked at the antioxidant level in the sunscreen, most of them was 0. And there's 2 of them, 16 and 12, it's virtually 0 as well, right? So what this means is most of the free radical damage protection is actually coming from the UVA protection, not from the presence of antioxidant. And if you really think about this, and there's a lot of challenges, and there's a lot of easy explanation why this happens. First, antioxidant is notoriously unstable, and in the manufacturing process, subject to heat, surfactant, emulsifier, pH changes will degrade the antioxidant, number one. Number two is, in order for antioxidant to work, you actually have to penetrate into the living tissues. In contrast, you want the UV filter to stay outside the tissues.
Well, hey guys, what's up? Kind of a disjointed day today. We were sort of apart for quite a bit of it. But it's the end of the day, and I thought I would share with you guys. I'm just going to reapply. I got a sample of the Neutrogena Sheer Zinc. It's been a while since I've used this. Dry Touch Sunscreen. This is their mineral sunscreen that's fragrance-free. This is not my favorite one, personally, for just the aesthetics of it. It's definitely greasy, it's definitely shiny, and there's definitely a cast. But it's a good sunscreen for protection. It's also, aside from it leaving the cast and being kind of shiny and greasy, it's also kind of difficult to apply. It's a little sticky, tacky, but you'll see how it goes on here. I'm not going to do like a super thorough application of it because it's the end of the day, the sun's not out, and I'm not going back out again. But actually it's not too terrible. I can't tell if they've reformulated it. It feels a little lighter and a little less, seems to pill a little bit less than it once did. I tried this a couple of years ago. This is a good sunscreen though to wear at the beach, for example. This is a good one for babies. Baby skin's just really sensitive, so zinc sunscreens are more than fine for babies. But babies, like newborns, should not be out in the sun, period. Really, really important to protect baby skin from the sun. And zinc sunscreens are a good choice just because chemical sunscreens, while they're safe, they can be a little bit irritating, they can sting. Babies are a little bit more sensitive, so zinc is a better choice. Plus zinc provides reliable broad spectrum coverage to UVB and UVA rays, so it's a good choice. Neutrogena makes a baby one like this. One of their baby sunscreens is pretty similar to this. It's a mineral sunscreen. I personally, of their mineral sunscreens, I like the, is that Pure and Free? It's like a liquid that is in a shaker bottle, it leaves a cast, but it goes on a much more smooth finish. I mean, you can see I'm getting a heck of a cast here. But while I'm putting this on, the last talk that I went to was 3 hours worth of sunscreen, kind of sunscreen talk, and hopefully you got a little bit of that point there that I always make in my videos about antioxidants in topicals, particularly in topical sunscreens. Yeah, the lab studies show that they're helpful, but practically speaking, they suffer from so many limitations. First of all, you know, they're very unstable, they degrade, and they lose their ability to scavenge free radicals. And as Dr. Wang pointed out, and he's like an expert, he is an expert in sunscreen and photoprotection. As he pointed out, not only do they degrade with just, you know, time, exposure, oxidation, but also the ingredients in the product, the emulsifiers and things like that, also degrade the antioxidants. So by the time you put it on your skin, it doesn't have a whole lot of free radical scavenging ability, and they've tested that on sunscreen sold over the counter. And then he pointed out another limitation with them, in that sunscreens are formulated to make a film on your skin, to make a barrier, you know, to make a film, to keep stuff out. To make that UV protective shield that includes not only the active ingredients, but also the inactive ingredients contribute to the SPF and the photoprotection of the final photoprotection of the sunscreen is more than just the active ingredients. Also, you know, the inactive ingredients do contribute to some degree. So everything comes together to form a protective film on the skin. And in doing so, it kind of keeps out, as that film sets up, the antioxidant kind of gets into that film and can't penetrate into the skin. So not only is it unstable, degraded, and not likely to scavenge free radicals, but it's in a vehicle that is not allowing it accessibility into the skin where it can be biologically active. So, you know, I tell you guys that, not to poo-poo antioxidants. You know, sometimes they're there and it's like, you know, no harm, no foul, but I want you to understand that a lot of more higher end medical grade sunscreens will up the price of sunscreens, promoting the fact that theirs has antioxidants, as he pointed out. And the presence of antioxidants in the sunscreen doesn't really justify the price point, in my opinion. For me, you know, I have no issue spending big bucks on expensive sunscreens that look nice on the skin. Sometimes the expensive sunscreens, they're formulated in a way that just feels better. It has more of an aesthetic appeal. It looks better on the skin. I mean, you guys can see this is quite a cast I have going on here for this drugstore sunscreen. So, you know, sometimes the more expensive ones, they're just easier to put on and for people to comply with. And so if people want to spend money on them, I'm supportive of that, because, you know, he had a slide up there, which is exactly what I always say. The best sunscreen is the one that you like and that you use consistently. So if that's an expensive sunscreen, if that, you know, is what you like and use, all for it. But do know that what they're promoting in their product is justifying the price point. Probably not really doing a whole lot. The other thing he pointed out is that sunscreen itself, the active ingredients in sunscreen, the UV filters, if it's a chemical sunscreen, or the zinc titanium, those actually by themselves protect against free radical damage. So when they measure free radical production in the skin upon UV exposure, skin that has sunscreen on it has less free radical generation in comparison to unprotected skin. So, you know, while this is okay for me currently, like I'm cool with this, I'm just gonna sit in here now and edit a video and then go to the gym. So this is gonna protect me basically from the visible light in the room and from my computer screen and from, you know, the gym lights. This is water resistant, so, you know, once I get off the gym, once I get off the treadmill, I'm not going to reapply it, but if it were daytime, I would definitely reapply it. So yeah, I mean, while this is okay for me in this particular next few hours of my life, this is not, even for me, and I'm fair and I don't really care what people think, I'm not comfortable just like rocking this all day, you know, and reapplying it. This is still a pretty significant cast. It's going to be too much for darker skin types. But one way to get around that, though, is to come on over with a tinted mineral sunscreen, and that's nice because you've got your base layer of good zinc oxide sunscreen on for UVB and UVA protection. Zinc oxide also gives a little bit of protection against visible light, blue light. It also gives that. I mean, that is one sunscreen ingredient that does a zinc titanium dioxide. They can protect a little bit against those wavelengths. But the tinted sunscreens, not only are they often mineral sunscreens, the tinted ones, zinc titanium, but they also have an inactive ingredients, iron oxides, that add further protection against visible light. So, you know, if I were going out, you know, if I cared what people thought of me in the gym, I would put on my Exuviance tinted face shield, which would give me a nice camouflage of this white, and also give me iron oxides. And you might say, why not just do an entire layer of that? You totally could. You could totally put Exuviance on as your base layer sunscreen. You could totally put a tinted high SPF mineral sunscreen on as your base layer. However, that particular sunscreen is pretty expensive. And so for me, I can make that last much longer by putting it on over a dry solid base layer and then just using it kind of to camouflage the cast. But I don't put the Exuviance mineral shield on to a significant density, to a sufficient density to really get to SPF 50, and I don't put it on every surface of my face like you guys see me put that on, you know, put my base layer sunscreen. I don't put it like on my upper lip. I mean, you totally could. It's just expensive, and you know, I'm more using it for a little bit of added SPF and kind of targeted camouflage of some of the tint, some shininess, and then the iron oxides on there for added visible light protection. It's really just a little bit of frosting on the cake. Same thing with the Color Science 3-in-1 Eye. I use that for kind of cosmetic camouflage, honestly, of the veins under my eyes. The peach color really camouflages that nicely and brightens up the under eye, but also gives added SPF in those areas and added visible light protection from the iron oxides. But I don't, both of those, both the Color Science Eye and the Exuviance, they both have antioxidants in them. I'm not super confident, based on what I told you guys today, that the antioxidants are doing anything, but I do really love those sunscreens. I think they look great and I enjoy wearing them. And the Color Science one in particular, as far as under my eye, I haven't found a product that is a substitute for that. But because I don't use it as like a base layer sunscreen to my entire face, that little eye doohickey lasts me for months and months and months. I mean, it really lasts a very, very long time. So, but anyways, guys, I am gonna go to the gym and edit this video. So I hope you all enjoyed the vlog today. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and as always, don't forget, sunscreen and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.